Hi you guys, I know I haven't done a video in a while, and a lot has happened since the last video I made about my detransition. And right now I am, well, I'm living in my van, okay? And I have been searching for a trailer to buy so that I can move down to Baja, Mexico, and try to live just a life down there as, you know, Damien, who lives by the ocean. I got really interested in starting the videos again after I saw a list of genders to select from when I was filling out a appointment online to get, you know, medical tests done for blood. They do blood tests, and you know, it's just for general health. And then all of a sudden it said, select your gender. I said, okay. And what pops out? Male, female, you know, trans, queer. Like, really? All those are genders? Male, female, transgender, pre-gender, post-gender, this gender, queer. Woo, man. And I said, fuck, you know who started that? Me. You. Me. Meaning, I started that. But nobody knows that. Nobody knows that, who started it. Nobody knows who started that mess. I call it a mess. Because it's actually quite sad to see that we cannot even define what a male and female is. Ooh, yes, you heard it right. Stab me. Stab me. I know people are freaking out right now by what I just said. Oh, yeah. So the person that started all that, me, I started all that. Do I have proof of that? Well, yes and no. When I worked at the Ness Recovery House back then, I think it's called the Friends House now, I think it's called, or the Friendship House, or the Friends House, I don't remember. But I found it online. And I think it's called the Friendship House. Back then, when we did, here's how it worked. Okay, I had my little, you know, folder, tablet, pen and paper, not a tablet, not an iPad. It was all pen and paper. There was no tablets back then. And I remember I had to go out back then. I had to go out and talk to all these trans girls. Back then there was no gender queer plus 2+1 2+1 gender, you know, queer and friends 2.0. There was none of that. So one day when the I would go out into the public and I would be the one working with all the trans girls, okay? And I would have to ask them all these questions that went to the Center for Disease Control. And I had to select the gender. It said male or female. And I don't recall if it had transgender on it. I don't remember. It's been a long time, like more than 18 years, I think, that I worked there. I think. I don't remember. No, maybe less, like 18. Yeah, actually, it's been... one day, I'll find out. But it's been quite a while. So just think, there was no laptop. I mean, there was no iPads back then. Or all these cell phone craze of today back then. That's how long ago it was. So I would go out and I would talk to these girls, and on the note, you know, you had to fill out, you know, their name, age, blah blah blah, sexual preference, how many men did they have sex with, did they use a condom, how many times have they had sex with a woman, or do you identify as a man having sex with men, bisexual, and so forth. And then one day I said, how can they have their statistics correct if they're putting these trans people in the men's section? I believe that's what it was. And I said, how can that be accurate? So I'm the one, yes, me. I'm the one that brought it up to them. Well, it was actually brought to my supervisor, whom I totally I'm disgusted with. And Kathy Reback or Kathy Watt. There's two Kathys at the Ness Recovery House, so I keep forgetting which one is her last name. She was a skinny toothpick freaking... I don't even want to think about it. Anyhow, the other one was nicer. I think she was the director of the house. Kathy, I don't remember her name again. The director of the house was pretty nice. But she was a pretty strict woman too, you know. But she was much nicer to talk to and all that. I don't think she had the same... Anyways, my supervisor had this ego, head up her ass fucking attitude, bitch. And, God, I hated her, man. And same with my supervisor. One was the direct... One was my... I don't know what you call it, but there was my supervisor, the main one, the skinny fucking bitch. And then there was my super... I don't remember what the term is. Kimberly. God, I fucking hated her, man. Kimberly was some black supervisor under the Kathy. Okay, there was Kathy on top, the big one that ran the whole freaking house, and then it was Kathy, the skinny bitch, my boss, and then there was the I guess supervisor. I don't know. So those two, man, drove me fucking nuts. But I loved my job. I fucking loved it, you guys. I mean, I had so many girls come up to me and looking for advice. And man, when I started working there, there was nobody in that fucking place. There was a few girls, you know, in the groups and in the support groups. But when I left, man, it was wall to wall packed. You know, it felt so powerful, but in a good way, not in an ego. It felt so powerful that you felt and you knew that you were doing something positive for these people. And man, did it feel good to be a part of that you were the one leading those girls there. It was none of these fucking bitches, you know, the supervisors, You know, that Kathy and that other one, the fuck is her name? I forgot already. Kimberly, you know. All those two bitches cared about was lesbianism and fucking with your head, with the trans people's head. They didn't give a fuck about you. Fuck no. And a lot of the girls told me that. A lot of the trans girls told me that. They would tell me, Micaela, that was my legal name. They said, Micaela, when are you gonna get that? When are we gonna have an actual trans woman to be the boss? You know, we're tired of that fucking Kimberly. She treats us like she treats us like shit. I was like, wow, man. They would tell me that. They would tell me that. You know. So anyway, so back to the Center for Disease Control. When I would do these I can't remember what the hell they're called, these questionnaires. I remember going to that Kathy head up her ass. I'm just gonna call her Kathy the head up her ass. Kathy the ego bitch, I'll call her. And during the staff meeting, I think they were on Mondays. We had staff meetings every Monday, and I brought it up to her in the staff meeting, and I said, how can the Center for Disease Control have this, you know, all these statistics correctly if they're putting the trans girls in the men's section, you know, of the questionnaires? I said, that's inaccurate. So I said, you need to have something different for the different kind of trans girls. I said, out there you have trans girls who are post-op, who are pre-op. Back then, that's what we call it, okay? I don't know what the hell they call it these days. And they call it the post-ops, meaning the ones who, or the post-ops, the ones who had the surgery. And then we had the pre-ops, the one who wanted the surgery, but they're actually, no, wait a minute. The pre-ops were the ones that did not want the surgery and who enjoyed having their penis still. And then there was the cross-dressers, and I think transvestites, and I forget what else. And I said, you need to have the Center for Disease Control have separate categories for all of these different people. And one day, Kathy the head up her ass, Kathy the ego bitch, came up to, she announced on the staff meeting that she brought it up to the Center for Disease Control and they approved it. So from then on, there was, I don't remember, it was multiple genders, okay? But not like today. So I'm the one that brought all of this gender, and you guys have to forgive me because I'm not, you know, concise with my speech. I was involved with 20 some years of chronic meth addiction. So I think it's done a number to my thinking and a number of other things. So I'm looking at a chat GPT here that helps me think more clearly. But right now I'm having a difficult. It's like I am the creator. So here's some of the things that it came up with. You know, I rewrote Center for Disease Control gender definitions. Here's the true story. Okay, I was coming up with names. I wanted help coming up with names of a video. So one of them was, I rewrote the Center for Disease Control gender definition. Here's the true story. Another one is, the person who invented modern gender categories, me. Why every trans survey today is based on my idea. Here's another one, the historical documentary style. How I Changed Gender Classifications at the Center for Disease Control Forever. The Ness Recovery House, where modern gender labels began. The origin story of transgender data from peer advocacy to the Center for Disease Control. That sounds too, So here it says, bold. Here's some other bold and short, punchy titles. I created the definitions. The creator of gender categories tells all. Before me, we didn't exist in the data. Here's another one. How I invented post-op, pre-op, and on-op category. The history of trans advocacy, changing the Center for Disease Control gender metrics. Anyways, there's a bunch of other information that I found out of how I can create the title. And so yeah, people, I'm the one to blame. I'm the one to blame. Anyway, so I'm debating whether to continue these videos or if it's going to hurt me more because of the way my detransition developed and the way the outcome of it was nothing like I expected. And it's been a very difficult detransition. I mean, look at me. I'm living in a van, Not that it's bad, because I am looking for a trailer to buy to go live down in Baja and focus on music production. That's all I want to do, is just live in a quiet, peaceful setting and think nothing except music production. Because I am a musician. Yes, I write music. and that's what I would like to have my life be. But unfortunately, my past as Monica the whore, Monica the porn star, Monica the creator of Sweet Luscious Monica Productions, SLM Productions, Monica the tweaker, Monica the crackhead, Monica all of that, and then you've got Mickey, the Mickey side also. Mickey was my nickname. Then you have the Mickey personality. So you got 3 different personalities. You had the Monica, you had the Mickey, and then you had the Micaela, And if you don't believe me, look at the tattoo when you see my photographs of Monica or Micaela or Mickey. That's how you know I ain't talking shit out of my ass. And I know I don't look anything like the pictures from the past. Nothing. Anyways, you guys, I'm going to try to really work hard on creating more videos and also to make them shorter. Because it takes a lot of time to edit them. Anyways, you guys, I hope you stick around, and thank you for watching. Bye.